Good morning, everyone. So, in the last class, we are trying to discuss annotation example here. For the annotation example, we created separate configuration file. So, the name of this particular configuration file we are going to call as a Spring configuration annotation here. Right. Now, what we are going to do, so we need to understand here why we need to use this particular tag. And so, before going to use this particular tag information, so whenever we are trying to work with the annotation example, what we need to do? So initially we check with the beans only. So initially we check with the beans. Now, so we added one more, this particular XSD information, something called context also. Spring context also we added here. Right. So why we added this particular Spring context is, so to get this particular context annotation convey, so we need to add this particular context XSD file here. Right. So these two things we need to add first, and later here we need to add a context location. So where exactly this particular context location will available? So based on name of this particular context here, we are going to get another this particular tag information. So these three we need to add very carefully. After adding this particular three tags here, so later what I'm going to do? So we need to find out this particular why we need to add this particular context colon annotation configure. So basically, so previous example we checked with the XML configuration. Now we are trying to move to the annotation example. So whenever we are trying to move to the annotation example, so by default the Spring container cannot understand. So which application we are running? Like we are running in the XML or we are running in the any annotation example here. So these two we need to understand very carefully here. So to understand this scenarios here, the configuration, sorry, the container, so cannot understand which application we are running, right? So to specify whether we are working on the XML or we are working on the annotation example, what we need to do? We need to specify this particular context colon annotation config, so that the container will understand here we are working on the annotation related example, right? So we are working on the annotation related example here. So now what we can do. So whenever we are trying to specify this particular annotation context to annotation configure, so the container will understand. So whatever the application we are running, so those are into the annotation based application, right? So after providing this particular information, so we need to work on the annotation here. So basically, the Spring is going to support auto void and injects also. Basically, we are having two types of this particular annotations here. The first one auto-wire and the second one, so which is going to call as a inject. So we need to understand here how exactly this auto-wire and inject is going to work. Getting the point. So first we'll check with the auto-wire annotation. Later we are going to work with the inject annotation. So to work on this particular auto-wire annotation, what I'm going to do? So we'll try to create a new package here. Using this particular new package here, we are going to work with so new examples here. So com dot java technology dot auto-wire. So we'll observe how exactly this particular auto-wire is going to work here. So to understand this particular auto-wire here, what we need to do? We need to create the simple example here. So let me create a simple example here. I want to check with the interface called person and so let me so get person. Sorry. So employee, I'm trying to work with the two examples here. The first one, person, and second one is right. The first one we created as a person. Second one we are going to work with the employee. Let me create one implementation class of this particular person here. Now what I'm doing here, person IMPL. And so what we need to do, we need to implement this particular person IMPL. So whenever we are trying to work with this particular person here, now we need to override this particular person IMPL inside this particular getter method. So we need to understand carefully. So what information I'm going to write? So name of the person, or we can call that person is call. Right. Same way, our main class, we need to work on this particular class called employee IMPL. So this particular employee IMPL is the implementation of employee class. And later, what I'm doing is, so I'm going to override this particular method. Whenever I'm trying to override this particular method, internally, what I'm going to do, so basically, employee is going to depend on the particular person here. Cutting the point. Basically, so based on different scenarios, we are going to work with this particular person, right? So sometimes we don't want to work with this particular person, right? So we're going to create a direct object of this particular employee. And sometimes this particular employee is going to depend on this particular person, right? So whenever this particular employee is going to depend on this particular person, so previously, so we check with the dependency injection, something called constructor injection and setter injection. So now what we are going to do, using this particular same dependency injection, like either the setter injection or constructor injection, what we are going to do, we are not going to work with XML. So we are going to work with annotations here, right? So to work with these particular annotations, what we need to do? What we need to do? So we need to specify the first setter injection we are going to work. Now you can observe public void set person. So whenever we are calling this particular set person, what happens internally? We are going to set this particular person information. Right. Now using this particular person dot get person. Person dot get person we are going to call. But make sure here you need to understand here, whenever we are going to call this particular set person, what I am doing is I am going to call auto void here. So what I'm doing here, I'm trying to add with this particular auto void annotation. Getting the point. So this is very important here. Whenever we are making this particular auto void annotation, what happens internally? Right. So whenever we are making this particular annotation, what happens internally? So whatever the XML configuration we made, so those configurations are going to ignore here. Getting the point. So those configuration we are not going to write anything here. Simply, so we are going to specify the bin configuration information. Getting the point. Simply, we are going to provide this particular bin configuration information. So to understand here, what we need to do, right? To understand here, what we need to do, we need to specify the simple configuration information. Simple configuration information, the two bin tags we need to specify here. So carefully observe, go to the annotation example. Inside this, So first we need to create a bean ID. So what is an ID? We are going to create employee and class. So we need to specify the class here. So our class here com dot java technology dot autowide dot employee IMP. Getting the point. So this one bean we are going to create, and here we are not going to work with any the particular XML configuration information. Directly we are going to specify the dependent beans. So now what you are understanding is we are not going to specify the particular bean information here, something called property or constructor. So how these two, how this particular bean and property and constructor injection will work here because of the particular what we are going to specify, auto-wide annotation. Right. Simply we need to specify the bean information here. So now we can observe com dot java technology dot autowide dot person IMP. So these two sections we need to specify. Getting the point. Let me create a main class here. So what we can do directly, we can go for the application context, and we identified here the implementation classes here. Class for XML configuration file, XML application context here, and we need to specify the configuration file. So what is the configuration file we are working here? We are working on this particular string configuration annotations.xml. String annotations.xml. And later what we can do, simply we can specify the container dot get bean. Here we need to specify the employee, and here we need to convert into our object style. So our object style called employee. And later what I'm going to do, using this particular employee, so what is the method we are having? Something called get employee. We are going to call this particular get employee method. Getting the point. So this section is very important here. Simply, whenever we are trying to work with this particular auto-wide annotation, what we are doing here, so you need to understand very carefully here. So simply we are going to specify the auto-wide on top of the setter injection here, right? So we identified in the previous example. So this section we are going to call as a setter injection, and based on this particular person, we are going to call set person method, and we'll specify the person object here. With the person object, we are going to call get person information. Getting the point. And later, how we are defining this particular configuration here. So this particular configuration we are defining here. So first we are giving information to the container. Now we are working on the annotation example. So how we are sharing the information to the container by specifying this particular context colon annotation config tag. Right. So later, what we are doing here? So we are working on this particular bean ID, and later we are working on the one more bean ID. So because one bean which is going to depends on the another bean, so that we are going to specify the two beans here. Right. Using this particular auto wire, we are not going to create an object here. Getting the point? So this is very important here. Using this particular auto wire, we are not going to create any object of this particular beans here. So just we are specifying here whatever the object we created here. So while calling this particular setter method or constructor, we are going to set those information here. So this section is very important here. Getting the point? So now, basically, whatever like based on this particular auto-wide annotation, the container what it will do. So it's going to set the particular properties automatically here. So because of this particular setting the properties into automatically, what we are doing here, we are calling this particular annotation call auto-wide. Now we understand everything here. Let me call this simple example here. And later, after auto-wide here, the remaining section we defined as the previous example. So now we can see we are getting one exception here. So context to namespace annotation config are only available on JDK 1.5 and higher. So which version JDK we are working here? So text namespace we are getting an error here, and it's a parser class of 1.5 and higher. Let me check here why we are getting this like Java build path. We are working on the Java 1.10. So why we are getting this error? Let me try one more time here. So basically, this is the version related error. So we need to resolve by specifying. First, we need to check like what version we are working. Like version is nothing but, so which version Java we are working here, we need to specify here. So still we are getting it. I'm not sure. Annotation config bean definition. So let me check here. The jobs important here. So which jobs we are working here? Okay, 254 we are working here. So just to run here. Let me check with a different jar here. So Spring context. So 254. Okay, we don't have a 354. And so we need to check with this particular 3 to 8 relation. So let me save the example here. So once example, this particular jars are downloaded, we need to check here So whether now it's going to work or not. Basically, so whenever we are trying to move on to the annotations here, so we need to work on the 3 versions here basically. So we need to check here once it is completed. Okay. So we'll try to run one more time the same application here. So now we can see the particular get person is called. So what you understand here? So this is related to our jobs here. So we did not upgraded our jobs to 3 version here. Getting the point. So now the issue is resolved here. Getting. First we need to understand here like how we implemented this particular sections here. So now you can see first we need to understand whenever we are trying to work with annotations here, we need to specify this particular context colon annotation config, and later you can observe here we are not going to specify any the constructor tag, or we are not going to specify any property tag. So these two sections we need to understand very carefully here, and here in this particular employee service IMPL, sorry, employer IMPL, what we are doing here, we are making one annotation auto. So annotation that is called auto-void here, right? So not only here we can work with constructor. So now you can see how we can work with this particular same example on the constructor. Observe here, I'm going to work with employee constructor, and this particular employee constructor, so which is going to take as a person information, and the same person I'm trying to add here. And later I'm going to enable this particular auto-void annotation. Right. So whenever we are trying to work with this particular constructor related auto-void annotation, so we are not going to change anything inside this particular configuration file. The same example I'm going to run. Now we can observe even whenever we are trying to set this particular auto-void information on top of the constructor also we are not going to get any error. So happily we are able to run the same example here. Right. So not only this, we can work with this particular on top of this particular property. On top of this particular property also we can work. Now you can see the same example I'm going to run. The same example I'm going to run. Now you can see, so even it is working on top of this particular property. Getting the point. So I'm going to specify one more way. So previously we checked with the setter injection. The setter injection here, what we are doing here, based on this particular property, we are going to define the particular method here. So whenever we are trying to work with this particular annotations here, so we are going to get an advantage here. So we don't want to write, getting the point. So we don't want to write here the particular name of the setter method here. Now you can simply define something called public void, something here person method. Getting the point. So just for understanding here, I'm trying to define the name of the method. We are having the person information here. So now you can see I'm going to call this particular person method. So let me comment on top of this particular property. So if I'm going to run the same example, we need to understand here so how it is working here. Getting the point. So now you can observe what are the advantages we are going to get here. The first advantage is here. The first advantage here, what we are doing here? Where is our configuration file? So here we are not defining explicitly the constructor injection or setter injection. First advantage, right? And another advantage here, so we can work on this particular auto-void annotation on top of the setter method and on top of the constructor, on top of the property, and we can work with any method. So which is not related to any dependency method here. So on the not dependency methods also, we can define this particular auto-void annotation. So very important here, like how this particular method, like what parameter this particular method is expecting here. Getting the point? So this is important here. The particular dependent object information we need to specify here. So whenever we are trying to specify here, what happens internally the string? The container will automatically like provide the particular property related information. So when it's going to provide, the first two things we need to specify. First we need to specify the context to annotation config. One tag we need to specify in the configuration file, and later we need to specify the auto-void annotation. Right. So these two sections very important here. Now we identified here simple example here with the different parameters here. So any questions regarding this? Any questions regarding this particular auto-void annotations? Okay. So now you can see, so when we can make this particular auto-void as a optional here. Getting the point. So when we can make this particular auto-void as a optional here. Now you can see, so this particular auto-void, so which we are having one parameter called required here. So basically by default this particular required, which is true here. Getting the point. By default this particular required is true here. But now what we need to do? So whenever we want to make this particular auto-void annotation, what we can do? So required is equals to, we can make as a false here. Getting the point. So whenever we are making this particular required as a false here, what happens internally? Getting the point. So based on this particular setter method, so this particular object is not, this particular person object is not added into this particular method. What happened basically? So we may get some exceptions here. Getting the point. So we may get the exception called no such bean definition exception here. Getting the point. Basically, the auto-void, this particular auto-void annotation, which is going to provide the contact between the dependent object and the dependency object here. So very strong here. We are going to have a strong strong relation between dependent and the particular dependency object information. Right. So we don't want to make this particular strong relation here. What we can do? We can make this particular auto-void as a false here. What happens internally? So basically, if this particular auto-void we are making as a false, the particular bean is not found here. What happens internally? So which is going to return as a null here. So whenever this particular bean is not found, the bean is not going to set here. So if the bean is not setting here, we already identified in the previous example here. So whatever the reference we are going to work here, the particular reference we are going to get as a null here. Getting the point. So this we need to make here for optional auto-varying here. Right. For optional auto-varying, what we can do? So we can make as a required false here. By default, the particular required is true. So whenever we are making this particular required false here, so we don't internally the dependency operation will not perform here. Getting the point. Now we can see whenever on top of this particular person, if we are making as a this particular required as a false here, what happens internally? So based on this particular bean, based on this particular type of this particular person, if the bean is not found, getting the point. If the particular bean is not found in our configuration file, what happens internally? We are going to get so we are not going to get no such exception here. Simply, it will return null. Right. So this is very important here. We need to understand. So basically, if I am going to comment here, AutoWire annotation, which is going to provide the dependency section. But here the AutoWire is not going to create an object here. So getting the point. So we need to specify the which bean we want to create an object here. So AutoWire, it is not related to bean creation here. So basically it is a simple, so which is going to work on the dependency injection here. Whenever we are trying to work with this particular dependency related information, initially, whenever we are trying to work with the XML, we are specifying the two tags here. One is a constructor add and one is a property tag. So to reduce those tags here, we are going to work on this particular AutoWire here. Getting the point. But AutoWire is not going to create any object here. So we need to specify this particular AutoWire information inside this particular configuration file. If I'm not specifying this particular bean here, what happens internally? We are going to get no such exceptions here. Right. So initially we are going to get no such exceptions here. But here, using this particular, where is it? Using this particular required false here, what I'm doing is, based on this particular property, if the bean is not found in the configuration file, what happens internally? So we may get no such exception. But now whenever we are trying to make this particular required false here, we are not going to get those kind of exceptions here. Simply we are going to get a null here. Getting the point. So now you can see type of this particular bean. Right. So now you can see, if I'm going to comment this particular, the bean information, so we need to get a null pointer exceptions here. So we are expecting here the null pointer exceptions here. Yes. So we are getting null pointer exceptions here. So why we are getting this particular null pointer exceptions here? Now what we are doing here, basically, if this particular bean is not found, so we need to read this particular error message here. Now you can see, so those are singleton beans they are trying to create here. Pre-instantiating nothing but, so the singleton beans are creating internally. Now you can see, so default listable factory defined in the particular this class called annotation internal auto-wired annotation processor. So what error we are getting here? So root of factory error key here. So we need to understand here, if I'm going to remove this particular, so required false. If I'm going to remove this particular required false here, so we need to understand here how exactly which is going to work here. So see the exception information here, no such bean definition exception. Getting the point. So now we are getting no such definition bean, because whenever we are trying to specify this particular AutoWire here, what happens internally? So based on this particular byte type here, because we are already discussed in the previous example, we are going to have different types of the AutoWire properties here. whenever we are making this particular auto-var annotations here, so which is going to take as a by type here. Based on this type of this particular property, if we are not finding any bean inside this particular configuration file, what happens internally? We are getting an exception called no such bean definition exception. Right. Basically, the relation we are having required true. Getting the point? The required by default we are going to make as a true here. Right. So now, if I'm going to make this particular required true, what happening internally? We are getting a null pointer exception. Why we are getting the null pointer exception here? So now you can see, if I'm not calling this particular section here, if I'm not calling this particular section here, what happens internally? We are not going to get any exceptions here. We are not going to get any exceptions here. So we need to understand very carefully here. What happened? Oh, sorry. From the main method we need to run here. Now you can see this application is terminated here. Getting the point? Observe carefully, application is terminated is nothing but, so is executed whatever the statements we provided. But here now you can see we don't have any errors, we don't have any exceptions information here. Getting the point? So basically the exception is related to, the null pointer exception is related to here. We are not going to get this particular person information. Why we are not getting this particular person related information? So we made as a this particular required false. So what is the purpose of this particular required false here? Now, if the bean information is not defined in the configuration file, what happens basically? We are going to get an exception called no such bean definition. To handle this particular exceptions here, what we can do? We can make this particular required false here. Whenever we are making this particular required false internally, the container will identify the bean information. If the bean is not identified in the configuration file, so it's not going to get any exception. Simply, it will return null here. Right. So this particular property we are going to get as a null here. Right. So this section is very important here. In the which scenario we can go for this particular required false, and which scenario we don't want to use this particular required related information, because the required by default it is true. Okay. If I'm going to run the same example in the debug mode, we are going to have more understanding here. Now you can see in the line number 19 how this particular application is going to provide. If I'm going to run in the debug mode, now you can see, okay, here we need to run. So let me run one more time here. So now we are into this particular employee object we are going to get here. So internally you can check here, we are getting person null here. Getting the point? So this person we are getting as a null here. So we'll understand by enabling this particular section here. Where is our configuration file? So I want to enable this particular configuration information of this particular person here. So let me run the same example here inside this particular debug here. Now you can observe here, we are getting a person IMPL object information here. So if I'm going to call if I'm going to click on F8 here, so we'll try to move on to this particular main class. Now you can observe employee internally we are getting person IMPL. So it's nothing but we are getting a person object here. Getting the point? So this section is very important here. We are getting person object information. Now So you need to understand very carefully here. So whenever we are trying to work with this particular required false, and when we are going to get an exception, and if you are not adding this particular bean information also, right? So if I'm not adding this particular bean information also, so what kind of exception we are going to get? So this section also we need to understand very carefully. So any questions regarding this particular dependency section here? Okay. So like sometimes what happens is, based on this particular property, so we may define two beans here. Getting the point? So based on this particular property, if I'm going to define here two beans here, the container is going to get a confusion here. So which bean I want to load here? Getting the point? So sometimes this particular dependencies we are going to get an ambiguities here. So which kind of bean we need to load here? So to understand these particular scenarios, what we need to do? Again, we are going to have one more annotation. So one more annotation called qualifier here. So how exactly this particular qualifier is going to work here? Getting the point? So now you need to understand here, so how we can reduce this particular qualifier related information here. Qualifier related information here. So now we can see how I'm going to write here. So inside this particular, I'm having two beans here. So now you can see what happening internally. So no qualifying bean type here. Getting the point? Whenever we are trying to specify more than one bean with the same type here, so observe carefully. I am not providing same ID. ID is different, type is different, but we are working on the same type here. Now you can no unique bean definition exception we are getting. Getting the point? So now what you understand here? No qualifying bean of type. So person. The type here we are having person is defined expected single matching bean, but found person comma person one. Getting the point? Person comma person one. So sometimes we may like we are going to specify here with the same type here, two or more beans here. But in this case, how we can identify it here? So how we can resolve this particular exceptions here? Getting the point? So to resolve this particular beans here, what we need to do? So we are having one more annotation, something called qualifier annotation. Something called qualifier annotation. Here I need to specify, and using this particular qualifier annotation, what we are going to do, we need to specify the particular bean ID. The particular bean ID. So now, if I'm going to run the same example, so we are not going to get any error here. So let's see, any comment section we made here. Here we made some comment section here. If I'm going to run the same example one more time, so now you can see the get person is called. But previously, what happens internally? So we are going to get no unique object, no unique bean definition exception. Getting the point? So these are the exceptions very important here. In the which scenario we are going to get an exception here, and in the which scenario So we are going to get a different exception. We need to understand very carefully here. So any questions regarding this particular qualifier annotation? Okay. So we need to check with one more important section here, something called inject related example here. So you can use in the, so if you are having only one bin in the configuration file, for example, if I'm having only one bin in the configuration file, but now what I'm doing here, I'm trying to work with the same qualifier annotation. So now you can see basically qualifier name must be same here. Getting the point? So that is I want to explain here. So if your qualifier name if you are providing different here, what happens internally? Bean ID and qualifier it needs to match with both. So now you can see, so at least one bean which qualifies AutoWare candidate for this dependency here. Right. So why? Because basically we are having only one bean here. Correct the point. In the configuration file, we are having only one bean here, something called the person AMPL. The ID we are having person one. But if I'm like in the qualifier annotation, we are working as a person. If I'm going to change to the person one, now you can see what happening internally. So any error we are getting here, we are not going to get any errors. So this section we need to understand very carefully here. Whenever we are trying to work with any example using this particular qualifier, the bean ID and qualifier ID, so it needs to match. If it is not matching here, again the qualifier related exception we are going to get. So these are the very important section here. Now how we can work on this particular inject related example. So to work on this particular inject related example here, what we need to do? So we need to work on the annotation here. Getting the point. So basically this is a standard basis auto wiring annotations here. Now let me add the same annotations here. Okay, so we are not going to get to inject annotation here. Again, we need to add jar here. Right. So we'll see the same example in our what we can call it as a Spring with JDBC example. We can work on this particular inject here. Basically, I want to add this particular jobs related, JSR related jobs we need to add here. Getting the point. So as of now, we don't have the particular JSR related jobs here. So let me check with the JSR related jobs in the Maven repository. So trip JSR support Apache. No. Where this JSR is added. JS are the most common approach Java annotation is type. Okay, fine. I will find out this particular. So JS are 330 jars here because we are not finding this particular JS are related jar here. So we need to check it out like why this particular JSR is not finding it. And we'll move on to the one important section here. So I don't want to add this particular, getting the one. I don't want to add this particular bean tags here. So now we identified here the particular auto void and qualifier annotation. Right. So we need to check with the particular what we can call it as a. So without adding this particular bean information. So we're adding two beans information here. I don't want to add this particular two beans information. Right. So if I'm not going to add here, how exactly we can create an object here? So to move on to this particular example here, what we need to do, before moving into this particular, without specifying the bean information, so how we can create with the, custom annotation here. So this section is very important here, how we can work on the custom annotations here, right? So the custom annotation is nothing but how we are trying to work with the auto void annotation. Getting the point? We are trying to work with the auto void annotation here. Same way, I want to work with the custom annotations here. So how exactly this custom annotations will work here, right? So let me create a one annotations here. So to work on this particular annotation, you can see inside this particular Eclipse here, we are going to have annotations here. So here we need to specify the name of the annotations here, something called custom, right? I want to specify this particular annotation as a custom here. So here I want to specify the target information here. Target information is nothing but, so where exactly we are going to use this particular custom annotation here. So on top of this particular type is nothing but on top of this particular property, and so here we need to specify the type, and we can specify the field here, and sometimes so we are going to work on the parameter here. So based on this particular requirement here, we can specify the particular type here. And the retention we are going to work on the runtime here, not this particular class here. We are going to work with this particular retention here. And so we are going to have one more here. Now you can see add documented here. So whenever we are trying to convert our particular application to documented style, so we can go for this particular documented here. So these are the three steps we need to specify here. So as of now, our example, we are not going to work here, document here. Right. So now you can see, observe carefully, if I'm going to click on finish here. So you can see this particular target here, we are getting a type, field, and a parameter. So whatever while creating this particular custom annotation we selected, so those information we are getting in. The retention here is runtime. So not only this particular compile time, we can work on this particular same annotation here at runtime also. So this is we are specifying here. Getting the point. So this very important section we are discussing, creating the custom annotation. In the real-time application, so we may create different types of this particular custom annotations here. Right? Now, after this, what I'm doing here, I'm trying to work with the same functionality which we use in the Spring auto void annotation. Right. Whenever we are trying to copy the same functionality, what we can do, we need to specify the same auto void annotation here. So whenever we are trying to specify this particular auto void annotation, what happens internally? We are going to copy the same functionality which we used in the previously the auto void annotation. Now you can observe here what I am going to do. Inside this particular employee MPS, so I'm not going to work with the auto void here. I'm not going to work with the auto void. So simply I'm going to work with the custom annotation. I'm going to work with the custom annotation. So let me save here. Okay. So we did not specify the method here. So we did not specify the method. Because of this here, we are getting an error here. Right. So let me add here the method also. Okay, right. Element type method. Let me save here. Now you can see whenever we are trying to specify this particular element type method, we are able to access this particular custom annotation on top of this particular method here. So this is a way we can work on the custom annotation here. So let me run the same example here. So now you can see, even if I'm not using this particular auto-wide annotation, using this particular custom annotation, how we are accessing this particular object information here. Getting the point? So this is very important section we need to understand here. So any questions regarding this particular custom annotations? Okay. So if we don't have any questions here, what I'm going to do, so tomorrow we are going to check with the simple example on the inject, and later we'll try to move on to the one more important section here. So without specifying here, without specifying the bean information, how we can access the whatever the classes we are going to create in the particular project called Spring Core here. So getting the point. So these two sections very important here, because so if we are very much familiar into this particular two sections here, whenever we are going to work on the from the 3.1, right? So all the example we are going to work on the annotation related example here. So the particular annotation related example, so you need to very carefully understand here what are the annotation we are going to work here. For the XML configuration, so we are going to identify here basically this bean tags and the property or the constructor tags we are going to work here. So other than these three, we are not going to work. But annotation style, we are going to have more different styles of annotations here. So we need to understand each one of them here, right? So if we don't have any questions, we'll try to continue tomorrow the particular annotation related examples here.